Hello Geeks and Gamers, Matt Lemke here with your gamer goggles. Today we have another flip through for you. This flip through is on Grimtooth's Traps, which is a book of 101 traps. It's published by Flying Buffalo. It's a series of traps that are basically from about 60 or 70 different authors. There's 101 different traps. And the book is broke down into 4 basic chapters, really, well, 5 technically. But there's room traps, corridor traps, door traps, and item traps, and then there's the things traps, which is interesting. You get a letter from Grimtooth that basically says he can rip out your lungs. Cool stuff like that. You get a note from the editor. Room traps. Wow, what can you say about room traps? Room traps, by their very nature, are quite possibly the most devious trap tool that DMs have, because, well, when you tell a story and you go through the effort to set something up, you're kind of telling the players that something good is going to happen or something important is going to happen. So by taking the time to design the room trap, you're really setting them up for a fall, because they're going to be less likely as a whole to suspect that your elaborate description and thing is going to lead to a trap. They might have questions and things and want to ask for things. I am very fond of this the infamous wheel trap, which is quite deadly. Basically, you have a room, T-shaped, a corridor that comes into it, a whole bunch of barrels that are these are your highway cushions, that you see that are full of water, except that in this case, they're lined and filled with acid. You've got 2 wheels at the top of this incline that are blocked off by a door that when you trigger the trap, they come in, they start to roll down into the cushions. Well, there's a little trench that you can dive into, but then there's another wheel in the trench, so basically it's baiting you into the trench. This is a very deadly trap, and you could do there's a lot you can do to make this even worse. One thing I want to point out is that they have a rating system. This is a 4 skull trap, and then the next one is a 3 skull trap. The book has tons of simple illustrations like this throughout the whole book. There's 101 traps. It's really worth it. The book was originally printed in 1981 and republished in 2011. Corridor traps are quite possibly the most obvious of traps that are out there. My favorite in this section is the sectioning corridor. If you look at the picture and you don't realize you're looking at it from top-down view, it almost looks like a spiral staircase trap. But what this is your walls are here, and you walk down this trap, and when you get to the end, it triggers, and the walls shift, and they come across. So here's your wall. It shifts and closes. It shifts and closes. It shifts and closes. It shifts and closes. And then each section separates a party member, or hopefully separates a party member, and they're facing one monster. So basically, it's a way to even the odds. It's a kind of a diabolic trap. Then there's the famous gas passage trap. This is a good trap because it can actually happen in natural areas. It can occur naturally within a cave. You can have a passage where it slopes down and pockets of gas get caught, and the players will never suspect it because it's not really a trap. And then the third section is door traps, and the door. Look at all these different traps. They've got pressure plates on stairs. They've got Maddener, which is pressure plates in wall sections, and basically it's a detour trap that makes you move, go a different direction than you wanted to go. You got a pressure plate as this trap is designed to either hit you in the back of the head or in the face as you're coming up the steps. You step here, depending on how tall you are, the arrows trigger and shoot off and hit you in the head. Here's a fun one, BB slope. Get to the top, there's a lever to pull. You pull the lever, it releases the BBs, you slide down into the spikes. Zoom in on the spikes for you. And apparently Grimtooth is very happy with it. Door traps. Some of these are really cool. You've got the flying guillotine, an acid or a poison spray door. You've got the, I call it the backstabber. You kick in the door and it hits a trigger that pulls this lever, and the gated bar comes down and hits you in the back. There's a whole bunch of anti-kicking in the door traps. Some of these traps are really beautifully done and descript. Some of these item traps, these are designed, well, to do a number of things. Mess with you if you mess with them. For example, there's a acid hilt, and what happens is a hilt. I said hilt. I meant scabbard. You put your sword in this newfound magically or ornate scabbard that's really nicely designed, and it busts an acid pouch that's in the bottom, and so it eats your blade and destroys your blade. Not a very harmful trap to you necessarily, but it is very harmful to the effects of what can happen within your campaign. Maybe you gave one of your players a weapon that is too powerful and you want to get rid of it, and that could be the way you do it. We also have the double crossbow. It fires 2 quarrels in opposite directions. Well, it fires 1 quarrel with another quarrel in the opposite direction, so you shoot at somebody and you shoot at yourself at the same time. Pretty ingenious. And who's going to check a crossbow for a trap, right? And then you've got the things. There's all kinds of different little traps here, like an eye-catching trap, wall wards. Here's one that's interesting. Hot time in the old campfire tonight. Somebody makes a campfire, and then the fire pit is actually over top of a flammable liquid. And while you're enjoying your campfire that night, you burn away the hole that's protecting it, and it falls in and it ignites it underneath you. It's brilliant. I love it. I mean, some of these people were rather diabolic. Here's another good one that's an item trap, actually, that I want to go back and find. It's really diabolic, and it pretty much just kind of kills a character. So you can play with it so that it doesn't. And basically, it's the gold meat trap. And players are presented on a sideboard of some sort, or somehow, maybe as part of their reward, they're provided a drink, a magical drink, and it's a golden liquid. And when they drink it, it mixes with your stomach and cools, and it becomes a lump of gold. This book was surprisingly a nice read. I haven't used it as much as I should, but it is very inspiring to create even more traps. So today we took a look at Grimtooth's Traps from Flying Buffalo. It is a really good book if you are a DM who uses traps. It is still available, I believe. This has been a flip through with Matt Lemke from Through Gamer Goggles on Grimtooth's Traps. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. If you're in the Akron, Ohio area, swing on into Con on the Cob. It's in Hudson at the Clarion Inn. We'll be there doing interviews with all kinds of people, enjoying the fun, playing some games. And see you next Thursday when hopefully I have some more D&D books for you. Talk to you later. Have a good day.